like a lot of people bring their lunch in. There's a fridge that you can store your lunch. It makes a massive difference to a new person to receive the data. Now, feedback is not about you feeding back to the new hire, although that is very important, and obviously that's something that you're going to do during the onboarding process. But actually having that new hire feed back to you where they feel the gaps are in your process and where they might feel they needed extra attention, while this is fresh in their minds and while they're going through that experience, it's good to try and capture that from them so that you can then move forward and improve it for the next new hire and the next new hire. And finally, something which is a bit of a theme with our organisation is aligning your values with the values of the new hire. So make sure that they understand what your mission is, what the mission of the organisation is, and what capture that with them in the early days and explain to them what it means to embody the values of your business. They're going to have a much more emotional connection with you from the start. And when they have that emotional connection, they're more likely to go that extra mile for you. I want you to all have a think about your leadership team right now, who they are. And I don't necessarily just mean your finance director, I mean things like your kitchen management team, your team leaders, anyone who's out there with responsibility for other people. How many of them do you think have had some form of formal management training or leadership training? Or have they just been promoted through the ranks? Because actually what we find is that so many people have started as a support worker and they've been good and they've been promoted, and actually what we find is that newly promoted staff can sometimes struggle to step into that leadership role. You've been separated from your friends, suddenly you're in charge of them, and a lot of people will either default to being the friend or they'll go a complete opposite way. And how many people can think of someone they know that got promoted and suddenly turned into a dictator? Simply because they didn't have the tools in place or they weren't trained to really embrace that leadership role and step into it and do it properly. The next one we have is to introduce a wellbeing policy within the organisation. So does anybody currently have a wellbeing policy that they're aware of? No hands. Oh, one at the back over there. Okay. So a lot of people would say to me now, what even is a wellbeing policy? Now, it can be whatever you want, but essentially what it should do is promote the wellness of your staff and the well-being of your staff. Now, this doesn't have to be something that you spend a lot of money on. In care, you are so good at looking after everyone else. And you're coming into work and you're working all the hours under the sun and you're giving everything to everyone else. And what's often missed is yourself. And we see many, many care workers, and this would be typical if I could draw people's assessment results. This is what they would look like in the care industry. They're operating off a bit of a wobbly foundation, or sometimes a very wobbly foundation. They are giving everything to everyone else and they're not looking after themselves. They're not giving themselves self-regard, they're neglecting themselves. Quite often they might have other things underneath that, personal stresses, etc. And whilst that care worker can come into your work and work for so long and do a good job, at some point that wedding cake might tip over. And I think that's what you have to think about with your staff, is that yes, their personal life is their personal life, but how can I support them and let them know that I want them to operate off a solid foundation. My challenge to you all is to go away next week. Does everybody have 1 hour that they can spare? Just come and visit us on stand D30 and I'll happily get you more information. Does anybody have, oh thank you, applause. Does anybody have any questions at all? Well, thank you very much for joining me today.